going to be looking at Edo Guber race closing credibility gap. You agree with me that there are so much issues basically concerning the electoral process, how to make sure that the continual voter registration exercise goes smoothly, and how to make sure that anything that has to do with allegations of rigging the process is tackled. A whole lot in terms of the in-depth improvement of INEC and its officials, ad hoc staff, to make sure that as against what happened in the previous elections, there's much improvement in the Edo Guber race. A whole lot that has to do with closing the gap on credibility. And discussing this with me, starting from my immediate left, I have a seasoned political analyst, and he is also a social media influencer, a public affairs analyst, Right Honorable Harrison Izeko. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Good morning, viewers.
And next to the Honorable is a seasoned political analyst, also an engineer, Fidelis Esegbe. Thanks for coming, Fidelis.
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning, viewers.
Well, let's quickly look at what has been transpiring. Over the weekend, we had issues, allegations by the APC over the PDP trying to connive, or the INEC officials conniving with the PDP Edo State chapter to rig the forthcoming Guber race coming up September 21 over the CVRO, the Continuous Voter Registration Exercise. And a whole lot has been said in that regard, where the APC did say that the PDP government in the state is trying to, tinker with the polls by altering the continuous voter registration exercise. I don't know what your thoughts are in that respect, Fidelis Esegbe, because most especially as we have the polls coming up, hotting up, we always have issues of distractions coming from politicians. And now this is a state government where the onus lies on it to make sure that it does the needful in encouraging the citizens to come out en masse and register. But here we have these allegations of tinkering with the electoral process. What are your thoughts in this regard, Fidelis?
Yeah, good morning. Thank you. You will recall that this is not the first voters registration exercise. You also recall that for every registration period, there are always window period for the permanent voters card to be made available. And this has never had to be less than 6 months. So we have a reservation that this exercise that is going on, the people may likely not have their voters card before the September elections. 1, 2. We were in the field yesterday, and what we noticed, the process for which even the registrants we have to register is also very cumbersome. 1, you need to fill a form. The forms were not available. Whether the forms were hoarded or whatever, some of our people had to get 1 copy of form to go and photocopy on behalf of the agent, or on behalf of INEC, so to say. Whereas some other group of persons had this form in abundance. So we have a reservation about the credibility of the process. But however, the people will get registered. There is no guarantee that registrant A or B will vote for party A or B. These are the little reservations we have in our party, and we just have to raise them. Simple. Not less.
Okay, your party, the APC also spoke about the aspect of the flood that devastated some parts of the headquarters of INEC in Edo State.
Of course, that's very obvious.
And that it should be postponed. What are your thoughts on that?
Of course, that's very, very obvious. I think INEC raised the memo concerning that their materials, including the building, was submerged by erosion. And of course, that is caused by the bad governance over the time.
Okay, but don't you think that could be as a result of the teething challenges that you encountered or that you noticed yesterday? Because it's not really easy to start a process, because starting a process basically comes with an Herculean task on a normal day, not to talk of even when it's being followed by issues of rainfall and flooding.
And what we are saying is that, yes, it could be, but the flooding again is necessitated by bad governance. If the place was properly eroded and there are drains to take away the water away from the facility, first, that wouldn't have happened. So first and foremost, the credibility of the process is already questioned.
Okay, let's get your thoughts, Harrison.
Well, thank you very much. just to say that we are not distracted. INEC gave us timetable. It's the duty of INEC to do registration. And the timetable was displayed, and they were supposed to start officially yesterday. And just to say that INEC, in their own wisdom, for me, I feel they were not prepared enough, because yesterday, not until 2 to 3 p.m., their server was not open in the local government council where I monitored. In my collation center, we started by 2:35 p.m. in the afternoon. That was when the server opened. And in some area like Ward 3, Ward 5, Ward 6, there was no registration at all. Nothing was done yesterday. So INEC should build up and do what is right. They should be able to put their equipment in order. They also make a press statement after that rainfall that affected their office, that one does not affect the registration. The registration will go on as planned. So if INEC was not prepared, what is the business of PDP in that? So those who are just raising allegation, it is a normal thing that the APC want to is propagate, just to do propagation. There's nothing there. The election, the registration is ongoing. They are starting again this week. We're going to monitor it. If INEC cannot do their work, it is not the business of APC. If INEC did not print a form that electorates we use to do a registration, it's not the business of APC. INEC is an agency, it's an independent body. So they are been giving fund. All of us should criticize them, they are not doing well. That's why we are monitoring them. We don't want to begin to raise issue now, because yesterday was just the first day. We want to give them the benefit of that from today to see if they will build on the lapses of yesterday. If all things are okay, no problem. Go and mobilize the people. People are coming on their own to come and register. They are coming to register because they know that we cannot continue the way things are. It talks about the issue of bad drivers where their offices were being destroyed. Where is INEC office situated? It's along Benin Federal Road. So if the state government is doing intervention, we are doing intervention in those areas. It's not the duty of the state government to go and fix INEC office. So we must be, we should get it clear and stop doing this blame game and face the issue the way they are. INEC office is situated at the federal government road. If there are problems, they are supposed to handle it. It's not the federal government owned by the APC. But we are not looking at that. The state government have visited and going to do palliative and something will be done. So we want to encourage INEC to brace up, to do what is right. They have told us that it's going to be for 10. We want to see them with enough machines at the collection center. For yesterday, they just brought one. Each of the collection center is one machine. And if the people that pulled in there yesterday, that one machine can only capture them. So even if the machine is going to register 150 persons in a day, and they claim, which I know that might not be possible, in 10 days it's just 1,500 per the whole world. So we are encouraging them to bring more machines, make this thing to be very, very easy. I think the portal have opened out through the phone. As at yesterday evening, some person can now log in on their own. You can do the transfer. You don't even need to come to where they do registration to do transfer.
Okay.
Or with your phone, you can do transfer to the location that you want to go to. Okay. So that one, on that aspect, they've also done well. But they need to actually do more so that from today, we want to see something different from yesterday. Okay.
Harrison, you agree with me that as the electoral umpire, there is a whole lot expected from them, neutrality, and making sure that they have that electoral integrity, and most especially when it happens that the opposition party is involved in this electoral process. You know, you can't expect them to go less than what they're saying right now, because they are trying to make sure that they check the process and make sure that it doesn't fall into a point where the electoral process will be deemed as incredible. No, so now let's look at the role of the state government, because I know the electoral umpire, there's a budget for it from the federal government. What do you see as the role of the state government in this, in terms of helping the electoral umpire to navigate through the challenges that is faced with just now?
The state government have no business with INEC, and they have no business in registration. The only assistance state government can do is to assist the party member to go and register. So the INEC have the responsibility to register our people.
What about recruiting?
Their staff
is the state government not
the state government have no business at all. It is the duty of INEC to recruit their staff. We don't know how they recruit their staff. What we know is that we got to the collation center where they said we were going to use. We were there, we waited for them till about 9:10 they came in, and the thing did not work till around 3 p.m. in the evening. So we are worried as a party that if INEC had given us timetable several months ago and they were not prepared, they came to the field. So our work is to mobilize our people to come there and wait for them to be registered.
Okay.
So the way they do it, the process, are going to do with our party, to do with our people. We just queue on the line, get the form, and do our registration. I think that is our role, and that is the role of the state government.
Okay.
INEC is independent, is their business. Whatever they are doing it on their own. What we are telling them is that do the right thing so we can register our people.
Some will say, why raise dust when there is none?
There is none at all.
Now, Fidelis Esegbe, a lot has been said by some who also reacted to that report that the APC is not having any evidence to show that the state government is trying to, involve, connive, or that INEC officials in the state chapter is trying to connive with the state government in rigging the process. So don't you think that is just too presumptive?
Like he rightly said, we have to just do the needful by checking INEC properly so that they will do the right thing.
Okay, that was why you brought the story.
It is very important.
That was why the party brought the story.
No, it's not about that. I just told you yesterday that the forms were not even made available to some certain group of persons. I had to spend my money to do photocopy, over 1,000 photocopy.
But how does the state government take the blame for that?
No, he said, see, let me tell you, when a witch flies in the night and a child dies in the morning, who do you blame? If we had raised these questions before and something again happened like that yesterday, who do you have to blame? Let me tell you, you see, yes, you may say that the APC has no substantial evidence. I use the word substantial evidence. I do agree with you. But let me also tell you that we are coming from the opposition. It is our duty to play the role of the opposition.
Okay. Now, let's look at the campaign process because a whole lot has been said concerning the campaign process. Sometimes we want to wonder why politicians are going about, on politics of calumny rather than face the objective part of the campaigns. We keep having, where politicians trading words, against each other. Now, what is your notch as regards closing the gap in this respect? Because campaigns have started, and in a short while, September 21 will be here for the election. So what's your notch in changing the narrative in that respect as regards campaigning? Harrison.
What? We just want to advise the APC to face the issues and leave all this propaganda, trying to raise issues when none exists. Like I told you, INEC have not really done anything yesterday. They took place of giving for most of the area they didn't do registration. So where did you now? Where was the fund now given to some set of people? Now let's come back to the real issue. The campaign have started. I think the electorate, Edo people, should sit down and look at these three major political parties right now.
There are more than three.
The three, I said major.
Okay.
Major, the three that really have a face.
Do you have minor?
Depends on the area they cover and their followers. Let's look at the people on the ballots. In the Labour Party, we have Barrister Lumide Akpata, who is a lawyer, a former NBA president for 2 years. In the APC, we have Modo Okpewolo, who is a sitting senator, a politician. In the PDP, we have Barrister Dr. Aisweleme Ighodalo, who is a lawyer, a corporate lawyer, an economist, and a business builder. And we also have their deputies. In the APC, in the PDP, we have...
Okay, just go
the
to the point. There's nothing for you to...
I'm going somewhere.
Okay.
We have a deputy governor in the person of Barrister John Rugi, who have been a chief of staff in this state under Adas Aliyu Oshomole, who have been a commissioner for works.
What about in the Labour Party? What about in the Labour Party?
A commissioner who have served, who have been SSG twice.
Yes. I don't want you to use this word.
We want to look at the competence of this person. That, we are campaigning.
No. You made mention of the running mate of the PDP. Let's also make mention of the running mate of the other parties.
The running mate of APC is a serving as of rep member, a politician.
Okay, but do you agree?
For the APC, for the
Labour
Party, we don't know the person yet. Let me come straight to my point before you bring that in. Now, we want to look at the competence of these persons, and those people want to know where these persons are coming from. Now, where have you worked before?
Okay.
Before you get into the political corridor, what have you been doing?
Okay. Now, a whole lot has been said.
What is your qualification?
A whole lot has been said concerning what the electorate will do on that day. Now, we have issues concerning inducement of voters, even before the election, inducement of voters, and also the antics of some politicians in, recruiting, charlatans, or I don't want to mention that name, recruiting those who might want to rig the process. So what is your urge in this regard? Let's face the real facts and leave all these issues that are not necessary. Election that is 21st of September. People are already talking about inducing. Who is inducing who? We are looking at the campaign just started. The electorate, the candidates should tell the people what they want to do. What is their blueprint? For us in the PDP, for Dr. Aswadi Godaro, we have said that the first three major things we are going to build on the security of the state. We are going to build on power. Okay, but I don't want to use this forum to talk about that. Let's get the viewpoint of. You are not allowed me to say anything. It's a changing. Yeah, I don't want you to use this platform to canvass. No, there's no platform. Okay, why did I come here? Why did I come here if we are not going to talk about what our candidate is going to do? No, we are looking at the perspective of the electorate. It is the same thing. And how they can do the needful in picking the right choice. And it's all about them. The electorate will make their choice based on the plans and program of the candidates. So we must let the electorate know this is the plan of our candidate. That is the basic truth. That is the way it should go. All right, but that will be their choice based on their competence. That will be in another forum. That will be in another forum. Otherwise, I'm going to be charging you for commercials. What is commercial? So let's get of coming here now. Okay, no. Let's get your viewpoint. We've had situations where the electoral process has been mostly hijacked by some politicians. In terms of the campaigns. How they go about destroying other billboards of their opponents. What's your urge? What's your nudge in tackling or changing this narrative?
I'll be talking in concerning my party. I don't think a party that has thrown up credible candidates will not have business in destroying people's billboards or signposts. Like you said, rightly said, we have a candidate that is electable, evidentially. He crisscrossed the 51 walls of Asian land. For the first time, he changed the narrative. He was elected. We have a deputy governorship candidate who is also elected. Are they staying to the rules as applied? Because most especially when we look at issues of campaign, the irregularities that come with politics of calumny and all that. That's what I want you to build on. That's why I started by saying that when you have credible candidates, you have no business of campaigning with who speaks English and who doctored languages of people. We have sellable candidates. And I want to tell you that APC is going to stay on the issues. We are not going to take somebody's video and begin to doctor it. We are going to be talking to the issues of the 5 agendas of the Ukwaulu Campaigns Organization. And these are the things we are going to be talking about. We are not going to be talking about how a man crossed his table and is doing Spider-Man. No. We are looking at people who are tested in the polls, who are delivered on their campaign promises. We are not looking at people who are coming from wherever they say they are coming from. We are not looking at people who are eating and their people are not eating. We are not looking at people who have banks and the banks are not even in their homes. We are looking at people who have delivered, who have provided infrastructure, basic amenities. Our deputy governorship candidate, go and see what he's doing over here. Check what Okpeholo is doing in this land. We have seen various scenarios where politicians come up with different promises. Oh, no. These ones. Where he knows, ask him, he knows that our deputy governorship candidate has delivered on his promises. And he also knows what Okpeholo is doing. Can you say a man who is Senate Chairman Committee on Procurement, and that man is not competent on procurement, who oversees almost all the jobs that have been executed in Nigeria, and the man is not competent concerning the electoral umpire and how they can change the narrative that will make the electorate have that credibility. I don't have problem with INEC at all. I don't have problem with INEC at all. The only issues I may likely have with INEC, like it's rightly said just now, that even as at 2 o'clock, the process have not started. If INEC improves on their technology and the ways and means for which they want to conduct the election, the APC is very, very ready. I can tell you that. I don't have a problem with INEC at all. Okay. So let's take your final lap on this. What are your nudges for the electoral umpire?
I just want to tell Edo people that this is not the time for people to come and sweet-tongue you. The candidates are there. Accept them based on their credibility. We cannot imagine in the 21st century that somebody who cannot differentiate between a Zoom and a museum will come and tell you the person is credible. What is credibility? If that man is the chairman,
the same way a man does not know how many days you have in a week.
If the chairman of the committee on procurement,
I told you to speak on how to change the narrative for the electoral process as in INEC, electoral umpire.
Allow me to have my.
No, the same way your candidate does not know how many days you have in a week.
That is in way that means Nigeria will not move forward. Edo people, please assess these people based on their competence.
What's the message you have for INEC?
Assess these people based on their competence. Assess all the candidates from where they are coming from, what they have done in the past. Can you trust this person? Do they have character? If they have character, go on that day, vote for the right person.
Right,
for INEC will remain independent in this exercise.
Okay.
We are watching them, we will follow them, we will cast our vote, we will defend the vote and follow the vote until the election is announced.
All right, thank you,
people are
Harrison.
resolute. We have done it before, we will do it again. Everybody should keep their hand crossed and do what is right.
Honorable Harrison Iseko, and big thanks, Engineer Fidelis Esegbe. We're going to be having more for where we're going to be having your contribution in this regard. And this is the much time will take us on this discussion segment.